do some messed up things in the UK, it's like wait a minute, y'all need not to go backwards like that. You know.
Like they protested in Germany. That's the big deal. 18 other countries protested Black Lives Matter last week and the week before.
Right.
So, and China just called us an embarrassment and said we had a racist president. So like, there's no denying it anymore at this point. He's a fucking asshole. And to honestly, like, I'm not even religious, but for him to go up and hold the Bible and have all these fucking protesters sprayed and shit like he did the other day is so like out of the realm of like reality for me that I can't even believe it happened still. He's an asshole. Like he's the most evil person like I've ever like come into like I've been able to view in my space in my entire life. And I've known some really shitty people.
Right. You know, like I've seen like, to me in my mind, I just think that he's been like this big old puppet to like put this wool over everyone's eyes about the things that are going on that's like behind the scenes and everything. Like, you know, if he tends to like really give up before his term is over and we're still in this pandemic, we're supposed to be taken over by FEMA. You know, and then FEMA is the ones that's supposed to enforce martial law.
He's not going to quit. He just said he was going to win the election the other day. He has no intentions on doing anything, like, as far as, like, leaving the presidency or anything like that. He is, like, if anything, more emboldened. Like, he's a fucking idiot. I I'm so bad. Like, I don't even know, man. It's just crazy because to have your own president disrespect Americans this much is something that we've never ever seen before, and
Americans of all cultures, because I mean, I'm you know, born through the 80s and stuff like that. A movie like Beach Street, you saw the Chinese culture and the Black culture and the Hispanic culture. We was all in the hood, so to speak. We was listening to the same music, and now you want us to hate each other?
Right.
We probably was eating the greasy Chinese food before the, you know, the so-called Caucasians, you know,
right,
and you know, other people outside the hood. Yeah, I mean, but you know, and you know, our eyes are beginning to open. It's like, you know, why are you teaching my child only this bit of history, and you making people from Mexico believe that they're white versus saying that they're part Black. You saying, oh no, go ahead and mark white because you look white. You know, and that's what you done brought back to our society. When history is coming out and it's showing that, you know, there was African slaves here, there, and everywhere, and we mixed and we blend. So how are you gonna tell that person that they're white? So you trying to change their identity because you want them to change their identity? This is gonna start another war with all the hatred that he's putting out there. He needs to get out of office, but you know, if he doesn't come out of office, you know, everything that we know, everything that we ever enjoyed is gonna wind up crumbling because they're coming after him. You don't want to step down. Go step down and go live in a Trump Tower, you know?
Right.
He shouldn't have been elected in the first place.
No.
Those Bible pictures were almost creepy. Like,
it's unnerving.
It is. It's uncomfortable because it feels like the beginning of the end. Life as we know it is over.
What the fuck is
this? It's just so, I just don't get him, y'all. It's like, you know, he did so many lies after lies after lies, y'all. It was so crazy. Like when we were up in Maryland and everything, we had, you know, by being, which is crazy. It was like a culture shock to me to like, oh my God, they don't have local news in Maryland because locally in Maryland, it's Washington, D.C. So it's Capital News like 24 hours, scandal and everything on that mug, right? So they was talking about, you know, how, you know, Donald Trump has so much information on this whole thing from this coronavirus pandemic years and years before they had talked about it, you know, for a press conference in 2018 with, I think it was Dr. Fauci was the one who did the press conference saying that, you know, in a couple of years, this outbreak is going to happen. Like they had already predestined, you know, all of this stuff. to happen to the Americans. And the thing about it is, instead of like owning it, one thing I can say, and I know a lot of people don't like George Bush. When George Bush became the president of the United States and the World Trade Center got attacked, he got on there and he claimed his shit and said, you know what, America, I'm sorry. And I had to take that shit because at the end of the day, he claimed his wrong because he knew he fucked up. Now, on the other hand, we looking at Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? And it's because he have all this money. In my mind, it's like that's the wool being pulled over people's eyes, because at the same time, he's talking about, oh, well, I didn't get no money to be the president. I didn't get the president's salary. But still in all, at what cost are you doing all of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much more. And then now it's all of a big ruckus that then started making like this domino effect of everything just going downhill, not just for us as Black people, but just for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's to the point that the police officers, y'all, are like, it's like they don't even give a fuck no more. It's like they turn around and not only are they going after our brothers and sisters, they're going after our brown brothers and sisters. They're going after our sisters and our mothers. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they just don't care. What happened to the thing about, we're supposed to respect our elders. It's like those things of those generations that we were brought up from, that we got our ass whooped for. By neighbors, not by our parents. They ain't get to our asses yet. We had to go down the line till we got home to get an ass whooping from them.
Well, let me back you up a little bit right there. Remember a TV show, In the Heat of the Night?
Oh yeah.
And if you ever noticed that there were people who were in titles for the public, but they still had their racist ways. That's exactly what's happening. And they don't want to hide anymore.
Right.
But then they have those that are still afraid. We're afraid to speak up. And us being Black women, I know for a fact, I have been shunned down. Like, why are you talking like that? Because I grew up watching the Cosby Show. My parents, well, my mother and my aunt, they talk just like Claire Huxtable. They talk with authority. So I'm not being what you think I'm being. I'm not angry. I'm just speaking with authority. Because I believe in my heart that I'm telling you the right thing. Because of my field, I have experience. I'm 40 years old. I have experience in what we're doing right now.
More than enough you can't tell a person who think they know something. You know what I'm saying?
And Trump have, like I said, with his words and the way he says, I'm gonna make America great again. He literally won his campaign by just saying I'm gonna make America great again. But how are you gonna do that?
When was it great though?
My thing was when keeping it real, just like you said, Nia, and I totally agree. When was America great? America, we were only taught to learn one language compared to all these other countries that know English as their third and fourth language.
Right.
Started off
being so diverse, we should know a lot of languages.
We have to pay for education. Overseas don't pay for education. We have to pay for healthcare. Overseas don't pay for healthcare.
Canada don't have to pay for healthcare. And that's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
It might have been great when just the natives were over here chilling before we just came over here and raped and pillaged all their shit. Might have been cool then. But ever since then, ain't shit been cool. Ain't shit been sweet here.
He literally, with his words, is as if they had their own little underground conversation and said, we're about to come up, we're about to rise again, and we're going to take over the world. So then you have the police, those racist police officers that's like, okay, yeah, you're right, they're doing that. Or, the people who's been sworn to be citizens. And Houston is very diverse. And there are those who learn to love me, should I say, just as I am, and those who still hate me because of who I am. So those that learn to love me, I've gotten information from them. They're still teaching those people, hey, you want to stay out of the Black neighborhoods because they get in trouble. Don't go by them. And when I heard that, I said, are you kidding me? This is not even the 60s anymore. We supposed to have got rid of segregation, but you're telling people who's coming from other countries to hate us.
Right.
Why are you continuously doing that?
I'm good for a good conspiracy theory, and I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I feel like because of how shitty everything has been going with the protesters and everything, and how emboldened these cops are, I really honestly wouldn't be surprised, because every last one of those cops that, well, two of them that were involved in the death of George Floyd had a lot of complaints on them about fucking with people that are of color or Black people. And I really wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a thing where it was like, hey, let's take some cops that already have a bad track record and make them the sacrificial lamb. We know if we kill another Black person in plain sight, people are going to protest. I would not be fucking surprised if Donald Trump was like, yeah, let's get them out to protest again so it can shift the focus of me being having fucked up over COVID-19. So now we don't blame it on the protesters. So now that's y'all fucking fault. Now we're right. These spikes and shit everywhere, and they're gonna blame it on us.
The psychological bit.
They're gonna blame it on us.
They clicking their $1.
Go up, they'd be like, you shouldn't have been out there protesting. You didn't want anything to open up, but then yet these white people can with AR-15s can go and scream in cops' faces, and it was okay then. Like, it's fucking bullshit. They weren't even masked up. Everybody that I saw protesting was in a mask. So I don't even want to hear the bullshit. Don't even let them try to fuck you up with that, because I know that's exactly what he's gonna try to do.
Of course, that's what he gonna blame it on. I mean, like, y'all, it was so crazy. Like, even with this COVID-19 thing, that they had actually ran like this. They had ran like this program with these doctors that were explaining that they were getting phone calls from like the the White House or whatever, telling them that, hey, if these people are in the hospital and they die, and let's say that they did not die from COVID-19.
Just say they did.
You should say that it is, because that's going to give us a pay raise. I mean, like, really?
So that whole time, cops could have been like killing people and like fucking people up, sending them to the hospital. They could have been marking them off as like COVID-19. Like, you have no idea how like deep it goes, because you see all the shit they've been doing to us for fucking generations and like ages. And like, it's all starting to come out now because they won't teach it to us, but we're finding it and we're letting it the fuck out. And like, you're not getting away with this shit no more. Like, you have to stop this crazy, like, people are people. Like, we never did shit to anybody. Y'all came over and picked us the fuck up.
Right? They know they was down bad for putting that free boat ride sign in Africa, and knew we was gonna get on. And knew we was gonna get on that shit.
Yeah,
you know, a nigga like free.
Right.
But you know, it went a little further than that. I'm still looking at it, looking into it. But there's a series about African history that I really got into yesterday. I'm not a reader. Let me just throw that out there. I like watching documentaries before I read anything. But
hell yeah, give me the
we have been fighting. We have been fighting for quite some centuries. From the beginning of time. We were already over here. We were already in our treaty. And when the white people found that out, or should I say the Europeans, I was like, oh, okay, that's what y'all doing? Okay, so y'all gonna come work for us since y'all know the land and stuff like that? Okay. Oh, we don't have enough. We want to conquer. So they were literally conquering more than one spot. You know, it was trying to conquer Africa. I was reading about how one of the royalties had actually sent out the sister to negotiate with the Portuguese. And, you know, they were very disrespectful to her. And she was fighting them for like 40 years after her brother died. And she claimed her throne. So, yeah, we have been the as the Bible said, we're the good Samaritans, you know, or those who will accept help and give help to those that, you know, just because. It's not because of your color or anything like that, but we're that. We should be classified as that. But see, all that hatred or whatever that conspiracy theory, because I've heard some conspiracy theories of why even the children are missing. You know,
right?
And we thinking it's just a sex ring. It might be even bigger and deeper than that. It might be doing satanic rituals, and still to this day that they might be doing that. But why are you taking our children?
Right.
You know?
You know